David Gravel is the best sprint car driver in the country, even over Kyle Larson and Brad Sweet. At least that's what my new ranking system says. Right or wrong, come along for the discussion. I'll even give you a chance to respond. Let's go. It's Thursday, May 29th. I'm Justin Fiedler. This is DIRTRACKR Daily presented by Kubota Genuine Parts. New for 2025, DIRTRACKR is now on Patreon. You can find the show at patreon.com/DIRTRACKR. That's DIRTRACKR. It's free to sign up there and just another way to keep up with everything dirt racing. If you sign up for the top tier premium membership over on Patreon, you can actually get the daily show ad free. That means no platform ads, no ad content from me, just the dirt racing stuff. Members also get access to their own chat, extra content, and other perks. If you want to join, hit up patreon.com/DIRTRACKR. You can also support the show on YouTube with a channel membership. That gets you some added perks for just a few bucks a month. Click the join button at youtube.com/DIRTRACKR for more information on how to sign up. Not long ago on the show, I teased that I had been working on a sprint car driver ranking system, and I want to take you through that a bit today. The idea of who is the best or the fastest is never really a question we can truly answer because it can change from year to year or month to month or race to race or even lap to lap. When looking at dirt racing as a whole, there are various methods out there at the moment for really trying to settle such things, and that includes Bill's system at sprintcarratings.com. If you aren't familiar with that site and are a sprint car fan, it's an absolute must. He doesn't go too deep into his methodology, but it does say that a perfect rating is 1.0 and that the rating itself is based on results, wins, money, average finish, level of competition, among other things. He's come up with what is effectively a math formula based on a bunch of different factors. And as results get added, that formula updates the list. Right now, he's got David Gravel ahead of Kyle Larson and Rico Abreu. His main rating system is based on a rolling 2-year period, but you can get ratings for individual seasons. We also have something like the DirtOnDirt.com Top 25 on the late model side. Each week through the season, a panel of 10 voters makes their own decisions, results are compiled, and you've got their list of the best 25 late model drivers. The methodology here is completely unknown as it's just based on what each voter thinks or feels, and that could change each week. At the moment, they've got Bobby Pierce over Jonathan Davenport and Ricky Thornton Jr., with JD hopping RTJ this week after the Show Me 100. The TLDR of my ranking system right now is with all the World of Outlaws and high limit races going back through the 2017 season. David Gravel edges out Kyle Larson for the title of Best Sprint Car Driver. They are trailed by Brad Sweet, Carson Macedo, and Rico Abreu in the top 5. Buddy Kofoid, Sheldon Haudenschild, Logan Schuchart, Tyler Courtney, Donnie Schatz, the rest of the top 10. Getting into the details and the nerdy stuff, my own approach for this first run at a sprint car ranking system is more math-based like Bill's, but it goes in a much different direction. I'm a numbers and a data guy, so it shouldn't surprise you that we went numbers and math on this. But instead of using stats and money to make a determination, I created a system using what's called TrueSkill. TrueSkill is an algorithm based a bit on a rating system originally developed for chess players, but it expands things to allow for many competitors at once versus obviously just 2 in chess. It was originally developed by Microsoft to rank players in online gaming environments, but it's used in a lot of different places now, and its simplicity lends itself well to racing. It doesn't care about track conditions or qualifying wings or race payouts or what daily YouTube show hosts think. All it cares about is your skill, what uncertainty we have about your skill, and making small adjustments to both as we add in results. In simple terms, everyone starts with a base score, and then updates happen incrementally as we feed it races. Every driver ends up with a skill metric, an uncertainty metric, and then we use both to calculate a final score. The more races we have from you, the better we quote-unquote know who you are, so then uncertainty goes down. So now that you understand a bit more about how the rankings were created, let's talk about them. When I teased them last week, I ended up with a Facebook comment from someone calling me an idiot. No way David Gravel is better than Kyle Larson. But that's the debate right to its core. This ranking system isn't based on feelings or vibes. And for comparison, Bill's sprint car ratings, they also have Gravel above Larson at the moment. If we go back to the earlier part of the results, if that kind of slide that window back a little bit that we fed into the ranking system, say we go from 2017 up through 2020, Kyle Larson's magical season. Larson very clearly ahead of all drivers. But in more recent times, other drivers rise. That includes Gravel and Macedo and Sweet. Yes, Larson wins a lot and is fast, but he also has missteps and gets caught up in stuff sometimes. Him not racing for points, I think, also changes things for him. There are likely nights where Larson could probably continue racing after trouble, but they park it because it doesn't really matter. Once they're not racing for the win, it kind of doesn't, they're not interested in finishing 17th. That results in some obviously worse finishes. Gravel or Swede or Macedo, those guys can't do that. They stay in the fight because they have points, and it ends up benefiting them. Larson was 24 3 weeks ago at Lakeside in the High Limit Show. Gravel hasn't finished outside the top 20 in an outlaw race in more than a year. On the flip side, though, not racing all the time benefits Larson too. He can pick and choose to race where and when he wants and go to places that he has a better chance of winning. The full-time guys, they have to play the hand they're dealt. The scores are so close here among the top two that we can get them close to probably calling them 1A and 1B, but just like there's an argument to be made that Larson is better, there's also one to be made that Gravel is better. And in this case, what Larson does outside of the sprint car doesn't matter. It's not part of the conversation. The midget racing, the NASCAR stuff, the Indy 500, Coke 600 double, none of that matters. We are only talking about sprint cars versus sprint cars. Before we close it out, here is the top 25 sprint car drivers current as of today from my ranking system. And remember, this is only taking World of Outlaws and high limit races into consideration, no regional or local stuff. As you look down through this list, do you agree with the order? Do you disagree with the order? Let me know in the comments below. Sometime soon, I will also take all Lucas and World of Outlaws late model results I have and do the same thing for those drivers. We can probably also do midget racers between USAC and Extreme, maybe non-wing stuff with USAC as well. So there are lots of possibilities here. Before we shut it down for the week, just a few things I'll be watching for, over the next couple of days around the country. First, who will come out on top of the big money modified show at Mississippi Thunder? Can a modified guy actually win this thing, or will one of the late model stars like Ricky Thornton Jr. kind of just bag the big cash? With high limit, can the four drivers behind Brad Sweet find a way to close down even more between the Lawrenceburg and Butler races? Brad hasn't won since Central Arizona in March, and we've seen some bad luck and some missteps from him lately. In North Dakota, can Donnie Schatz finally break through for an outlaw win on home turf? He's still winless since Lincoln last October, and his season continues to be very up and down. His last River Cities win, though, was way back in 2019, and his last Red River Valley score was 2021. Around late model racing, regional stuffs take center stage with both national tours off. The big places to watch this weekend include Mars. They're at LaSalle. That one pays $25,000 to win on Saturday. That one, I think, should draw a good amount of touring guys. There's also the Hunt the Front show at Swainsboro. That's just Saturday. The Friday one was sacked. And then Northern All-Stars is also in action at Brownstown as well. Your favorite drivers, favorite late model drivers, they're going to be scattered or maybe sitting idle with Eldora looming. Other racing to check out includes Western PA Speed Week for sprint cars. USAC is at Knoxville. You've got Extreme Midgets, NARC, and the Sprint Car Challenge Tour at Placerville. There's also Short Track Super Series at Airborne Park, and then the full complement of local action. If you want to see all of your streaming options all weekend, stop by DIRTRACKR.com/watch tonight. That's the Daily Show for today. This is the final week of May, so thanks for coming along up to the first 5 months of 2025. Enjoy the dirt racing weekend out there, and we will see you right back here on Sunday.